Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this. We're going to do a very, very special episode of 10 years ago right now for ye, because due to overwhelming demand, and it must be said, the amount of comments that I said review the final Nitro was quite overwhelming, it has to be said. We're going to review for you the last ever episode of WCW Monday Nitro. Oh yes, we are. Now the first thing you should bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, is long-term viewers of mine will already know this, but you may be watching this for the first time. This might be the first of my vids that you've ever seen. So this needs to be noted that this is only the second ever episode of Monday Nitro I ever watched in my 28 years on this planet. I've only ever watched one episode of Nitro. Can you remember which one that one was? Good answer there at the back. Yes, it was the Finger Poke of Doom episode, the 4th of January episode from 1999 episode of Monday Nitro. 2 years later, oh my god, the company's actually still going well. No, it's not at all, is it? The company's been bought. What the fuck does "vought" mean? Been bought by Vincent K. McMahon. Now, as mentioned, I've only ever seen bits of this show. Alright, because there are bits of it on the Monday Night Wars bullshit DVD that I've seen. But other than that, that's all it is. So, the opening thing, the first thing we see is Vince McMahon. And he talks about how he's bought WCW, and he says that the very fate of WCW is in my hands. Which is lovely, isn't it? So, the Nitro opening package, is so bad. Right, on 2 counts. Actually, I think there's 3 counts, to be honest. Firstly, the music for it is garbage. Now, I like drum and bass, don't you? Yeah, as you all know. But, it's just repetitive shite. The graphics look, honestly, like someone's got a new graphics program and gone, ooh, let's try and throw as many graphics as we possibly can. And also, in one of those spots that just guaranteed to make me chuckle, all the things that you see, there's one moment that you see twice, What's that? That's right, it's Jeff Jarrett hitting someone with a guitar. Nice. So, that's nice. So the show opens with Tony Schiavone and Scott Hudson telling us that tonight is the night of champions. All 5 WCW championships will be on the line tonight. Oh yes, they will. They're wondering what's going to happen to WCW, which is a fair point. And Scott Hudson and Tony Schiavone, to their credit, both look legitimately worried. Because I've got to say, straight off the bat, Tony Schiavone must have known that Vince didn't like him, that Vince was never going to hire him, so this was like his last night on the job. He must have known that. Anyway, Flair's music hits and Flair comes out, and he cuts a promo that is very good on the one hand and very bad on the other. Let me explain it to you. On the good side, Flair cuts a promo that sounds, and probably is, directly 100% from the heart. He really is so passionate about what he's talking about. Talking about how good WCW was, how WCW ran neck and neck with the WWF for years. He talks about lots of stuff like that. This promo goes on for a couple of minutes. The bad is that, firstly, he looks like he's about to have a heart attack because the way he's bright red, he's shouting into the microphone. That is unnerving, to say the least. Secondly, he talks about how he starts talking about Vince McMahon, and he says Vince, have this one. In 1981, your father was on the board of the NWA, and he voted for me to be champion, says Flair. And you're like, right, straight away, there's Flair admitting that the championship isn't real, it's decided. And also then he talks about Vince, how Vince wasn't there wrestling hour-long matches like he would be there. I don't understand why he says that, but the thing that bothered me, and he says, when you've cut yourself 5 times in one match. So he basically admits in one program that the championship is fake and the blood that you've seen is fake in one go. That, I've got to say, isn't me nitpicking. I'll hold my hands up. Alright, nitpicking. The promo is on YouTube. That's why I'm not telling you what he said, because I would much rather you go and watch. If you've never seen it before, go and watch the promo. Because, like I say, I couldn't do it justice. If I told you word for word what he said, even if I did my best Ric Flair impression, which is shite, by the way, even if I did the best Ric Flair impression that I physically could, yeah, it would not do it justice. Those two little points, those points I've just made out, yeah, they're just little nitpicking things. It is a very, very good promo. Anyway, first match of the night is Booker T versus Scott Steiner. Interesting choice, this one. Oh, I've just forgotten something really quite important. Flair challenges Sting to a match. Just needs to point that out. Flair says, my best opponent here in WCW was Sting. Stinger, tonight is your last chance. I want you in the ring. No problem with that. Interesting choice, what I say, because the championship match is on first. All 5 WCW belts will be on the line tonight, and the first one is a unification match. It's Booker T versus Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner, of course, is the WCW championship. Idiot, are you fucking not working right today? Scott Steiner is the WCW champion, while, of course, Booker T had defeated Rick Steiner at Greed a couple of weeks earlier. So this is a unification match. So Booker starts off by ducking a clothesline and hitting a sidekick for 2. Scott whips Booker into a corner, but eats elbow and a clothesline for 2. Then puts Steiner in a corner and gets 8 punches, but Scott then turns it into a powerbomb for 2. On the outside, Mendacious slaps Booker, while Scott gets his foam pipe. He swings the pipe, but misses Booker T and hits the ring post. And they go inside, elbow and push-ups for Scott Steiner, followed by belly-to-belly for 2. Surplus stretch, and he goes for a belly-to-back suplex attempt, but Booker T counters it into a dropkick. Axe kick, flapjack, spinneroonie, and a side kick. Bookend is countered into another light suplex for 2, but then a bookend out of nowhere gets the win at 6 minutes and 22 seconds. It's, right, you've got to remember that you can't rate TV matches and pay-per-view matches in the same caliber. It just doesn't work, you know. So on pay-per-view, this would probably be a 1-star. On TV, it's a 2-star match. It's perfectly acceptable. It's like an average TV match. What I must say about this one is you've got to give Steiner props for this one, I think. And what I mean by that is that Steiner could have point-blankly refused to lay down here, couldn't he? As the champion. And, think about it. I've heard lots of stories that have been throwing his weight around and bullying people. He got suspended from Thunder with pay for threatening someone, etc., etc., etc. Steiner could have said, bollocks to you, I'm the champion, so that if WCW is ever restarted, I'm going to get at least 1 appearance in the WWF by being the champion and laying down then. He didn't do that. He chose to lay down here, and I've got to give Steiner props for that. Nice little match. So Vince is in the back on Raw talking to an attorney, and basically he buries WCW while he's there. He basically says that if they're going to, why on earth is the last Nitro in Panama City? I don't understand if that's a bad thing because I've never been or actually heard of Panama City until tonight. But yeah, that's that. Rey Mysterio and Kidman defeated the Young Dragons and 3 count in a match to become the number 1 contenders to the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships. They will face the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions later on. Evan Courageous is with Shannon Moore, right? They're 3 counts again, but I don't care why they're 3 counts again. They just are. Let's just leave it at that and move on. So bring on the spots because that's what this one is. This match is spot, finish. All right, and these are the spots. We get Kaz with a head scissors on Moore, who sunset flips Kidman, which is broken by Kaz. Wheelbarrow face blocker by Evan. He tries one on Young, but eats a German suplex. So Ray drop kicks Young. He follows with a springboard flipping senton to the outside, and then in a classic WCW cruiserweight match to the outside, we get a plancha by Kaz, one by Evan as well, a senton by Moore, and a shooting star press by Kidman. All one after the all crisp, all smooth, all lovely, all pointless. Just as they always are. Inside a head scissors by Ray. He charges at Young, but eats turnbuckle. Corkscrew salt by Young. Rocker drop by Moore, who then gets double teamed by the Dragons. It's a flipping powerbomb. Does that make sense? They go up top and Kaz does a flipping slam on him, yeah? But in midair, Young catches him and powerbombs him. So it's a flipping slam powerbomb. That's a nice move. It sounds a lot more impressive than I'm sure making it out to me. Like I say, this entire show is on YouTube from start to finish, the entire thing. So, feel free after I've talked about a match to go and watch the match on question, if you feel that way. Neckbreaker and a 450 splash by Evan. Bronco Buster is countered, but a guillotine leg drop gets 3 for Ray. Ray and Kidman face the tag team champions, as I've said a moment, later on in the night. It's a half a star match, though. I mean, it's just spot. But it's nothing. There's no psychology in it whatsoever. There's no storytelling. It's just spot finish. That's I have no time for matches like that at the best of times. Vince is shown on Raw making out with Trish. I have no idea why this is being shown on Nitro. I understand that if Vince wants to make out with, if Vince wants to have his midlife crisis in front of millions, is one way I've heard it being put before. If Vince wants to make out with Trish Stratus on Raw, I've got no problem with that, I suppose. But why show it on Nitro? That's the thing I don't get here. And this is going to become a regular theme through the rest of the night. I don't understand why they're showing this. Okay, next, Shane Helms defeated Chavo Guerrero in a good match to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. So Helms controls from the start, dropping him. Right, it's an interesting move. He gets Chavo on his shoulders, yeah, and sort of spins him round like he's going to do an FU, yeah, but brings him down so his face hits the knee. It's a really nice little move. It's hard to describe, granted, but it is a really nice move. Neckbreaker gets 2 for Shane. Belly to back suplex by Chavo, but a suplex is countered into a sunset flip for 2. Chavo with a big chop eats a cross body for 2. Chavo hits a T-bone suplex, that gets 2, as does a Northern Light suplex. Sunset flip by Chavo is countered for 2, and Helms hits a nice backbreaker. Nice reversal sequence leads to a super kick. Third breaker is attempted, countered, and the second one gets the win at 4 minutes and 44 seconds. 2-star match, no problem with this at all. Not as good as the match that they had at Sin, obviously. It's not as good as the match that they had at Greed, obviously, but it's a good match nonetheless. Booker T cuts a promo, talking about how if anyone wants to challenge him, they should step up and be a man in a company that doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what that means, but the thing that comes out of this promo that really bugs me is that Booker's fucking catchphrase. I may have said this before. If I have, I apologise, yeah. But Booker's catchphrase, which is "Don't hate the player, hate the game," is so dumb. It really is, isn't it? Over on Raw, for fuck's sake, Trish is playing with Vince's nipples. No word of a lie. Yeah, Cole, the idiot, interrupts and asks about WCW. You know, what's going to happen to WCW? What the WCW fans are worried that their brand of sports entertainment, as he puts it, won't be about anymore. Yeah, they're worried about their job security. Vince just stands up and goes, "What are you worried about? Your job security?" And just like, yep, that's enough of that. And Trish says, "I love it when you're so forceful." So I don't know why I did that voice, because Vince doesn't talk like that, and Trish doesn't talk like that either. But I thought I'd just make it a little bit more entertaining for you. Trish says to Vince, "I love it when you're forceful." So Vince goes, "Oh, well, I'll drink to that, to being forceful." Why is this on Nitro? Why? It makes no sense. Tony then asks us about what's going to happen to WCW. He goes off on quite a one about Cheerio. He sounds like he's shooting as well. He sounds legit worried. Oh, I've already mentioned that before, about how, it's obvious he's not going to get taken on by the WWE. So yeah, that's that. Next, Short Plumber and Sean O'Haire defeated Lance Storm, Mike Awesome in a crap match to retain the tag team titles. Storm gets owned from the bell, including a full-way slam by Chuck. Tag to Awesome, hits an elbow off the sock and rope. Tag to Storm, who slingshots Plumbo and gets 2 off a roll-up. Hot tag to Sean, who cleans house, including a Widowmaker. Do you know what a Widowmaker is? No, never mind. Widowmaker's a reverse Deathfly driver, I think. Or is it just a standard Deathfly driver? Gets them up on the shoulders, drops them down. It's a Death Valley driver! Brilliant. To Awesome for 2. Super kick for Palumbo. Awesome bomb is counted into a super kick. Sean Tom Bomb for the win at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Let me tell you about this match. It had no structure to it at all. You know what I mean by that. In a tag match, you get one of the faces, gets the shit kicked out of him, makes the hot tag, the faces win. This one was just move, finish. There was no structure to it whatsoever, and that's why it gets half a star. It gets half a star because I'm so nice. On a pay-per-view, this would probably be a dud. It has to be said. Oh my god, the next match. Jesus Christ. Sean Stasiak defeating Bam Bam Bigelow in a terrible tattoo match. Yes, you heard it right, ladies and gentlemen. A tattoo match. I can see you're scratching your heads now going, what the fuck's a tattoo match? It's simple as this. If Bam Bam Bigelow wins, he gets to tattoo Sean Stasiak. Now, I could open myself quite a bit of ridicule for this one, but I don't care. See this on my arm? You see this? I have 3 tattoos. I've got 4 tattoos. There's another great big one on my leg, but I've got these 3. Right? Mark, Craig, Andrew. Me, my brothers. It's meant to be bigger than that. I'm meant to have my mum's name, my dad's name, loads of stuff. I've never got around to it because I think I'm actually ashamed of these 3. I think these 3, I don't know if you can see them properly, these 3 are bollocks. They're not very good tattoos, alright? I got them done, spur of the moment thing, Each one of those, took about a minute and a half to do. Because they're nothings, they're just lines, aren't they? Yeah, but they had to be made bigger and all a minute and a half. Let's say a minute and a half each. Now, let me think about this, right? If Bam Bam Bigelow wins this match, yeah, what the fuck is he actually going to tattoo on Sean Stasiak in the middle of the ring? My only guess is that they would have cut to a commercial break and they would have carried on tattooing him. But of course, it's a moot point because Sean Stasiak won this match in one of those, this booking makes no sense things. Because at the end of the day, Bam Bam Bigelow is the big bad face. He should be he should win this match, but he doesn't. The whole point, I'm not even prepared to talk about it. Bam Bam Bigelow goes for greetings from Asbury Park. Stacey Keebler grabs his leg. Neckbreaker gets the win. Match lasted 1 minute and 23 seconds, yeah? The intros lasted 2 minutes. That says it all, really, doesn't it? Next, Regal and Vince are in the back on Raw. Have a guess what they do. Oh, that's right, yeah. They utterly bury WCW. And at this point of the show, I'm starting to get angry at this because I don't understand it. I don't understand why they've bought WCW and are now mercilessly burying them. You know, every single chance they get, they are burying them. They're not putting them over as a potential threat, which they should be doing. If they've got any plans at all to start up WCW again as a separate brand, they should be talking about how great WCW is/was. They should be showing highlights vids of the best moments of Nitro. From 1995 till today, this is what has happened. This is what you, the WWF fans, have missed. You know, is what they should be showing. Not fucking Vince and Regal verbally, absolutely decimating WCW. I just do not understand it. And like I say, the more I'm watching this show, the more it's getting on my wig. Because every single chance they get, they're burying them. And it's just bothering me. Next, DDP cuts a promo thanking WCW for letting him be WCW. For fuck's sake. Do you know what it is? Just notice, look. The clock's an hour slow. Clocks went back last night, and I haven't changed it yet, which meant I haven't had as much sleep as I probably should have done. DDP cuts a promo where he thanks WCW for letting him be DDP. He also thanks his wife, and this made me think a little bit because this is the last time DDP isn't on the show at all. He isn't wrestling or anything. He's just on this one little bit. So the last thing we see of DDP before he makes his triumphant return to Raw in June, yeah, is him thanking his wife when he returned to Raw. He was stalking Undertaker's wife. Yeah, go figure the logic in that. I must ask before we go on, because I'm an Englishman and don't know things like this, what the fuck is spring break? Someone send me a message. Someone put in the comments what spring break is. And I'll tell you why, right? I'm guessing that spring break is a break in the holiday for high school kids and college kids, whatever. They go to the coast, like somewhere in like Panama City, Florida, and basically get drunk and shag. Is the basic premise I'm getting. If that's true, can someone let me know? Because I'm starting to believe, you're not going to believe this, but I'm getting heat. I am getting heat because I'm English, alright? Some guy said to me the other day, do the math. And I said, in all honesty, what does that mean then? Do the math, dude. Fuck's sake, you British faggot, I got called. Do the math. And I'm sat there, being blank, going, I don't know what that means. I'm English. We don't say that. Right, I must say, do the math is an expression that we never, ever use over here. I've never seen it, ever, or heard anyone ever say it here in English. Also, if I'm going to be pedantic here, and I can do this because I went to a really posh school, yeah, do the math doesn't make sense, right? Because it's called mathematics. So surely, and I really do mean this surely, this is another one of those I could care less things that doesn't make sense, right? Surely it's do the maths, maths, S. Do the maths. Do the maths. Not do the math, that's one sum. Do the maths, sir. Just a thought. Yeah, spring break. I ask because all through this show we've been getting in the commercial breaks after all the bullshit commercials have gone on. God damn, American commercials are so bad. I actually get a rise out of it sometimes. When I'm watching Raw, I watch it on a stream, and 9 times out of 10 the stream's coming from America. So I'm watching these horrifically bad commercials that you guys have to sit through. and thinking to myself, oh, I'm so glad I'm not an American. Yeah, I don't watch television here in England. If I do, I TiVo it, as you guys call it. So I skip through all the adverts. That's just a thought. Anyway, oh, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, you have the commercial break. Say it's 5 minutes long. You then get a 2-minute commercial for 1-800-COLLECT, whatever that is, for spring break. And you get all these girls going, I love you, spring break, and you get Disco Inferno riding a bull and stuff like that. And I'm sat there going, what the fuck is spring break? Little rant over, back to the original vid. But yeah, if you could let me know what spring break is, just so I think I've got it right. But and yes, like I say, I'm not American. I have no idea what the fuck spring break is. Anyway, nice little video showing WCW stars of the past. And this makes me angry. Because it's like, why haven't you been doing this all match? It's 45 seconds long, yeah? All night they should have been doing shit like this. And it shows loads of legends from the past. Let me just name a few for you, right? Sting, Luger, Nash, DDP, Flair, Bret Hart, Hogan, Dory Funk Jr., Goldberg, Lou Thez, The Great Musa, Ronnie Garvin, Sid, Wyndham, Booker T, Dusty Rhodes, and shitloads more, with like they keep fading to the pictures of the various belts they've had in WCW. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely superb. The music fits it perfectly. When they come back, Tony says champions never die, and you're just like, whoa, that's just superb. All show they should have been shown. Why didn't they show Nitro highlights all show? I don't understand it. I really feel like the 300th Raw, they showed Raw highlights for the entire fucking night, didn't they? Why couldn't they have just done this on Nitro? Why couldn't they have celebrated Nitro? Instead of sitting here going under, going, oh, what's going to happen to WCW? And Vince McMahon going, I bought WCW because I'm awesome. Look at my massive cock. Because that's what he was basically doing all night, isn't he? Yeah. Why not celebrate how good Nitro once was? You know, beats me, really does. Over on Raw, Vince is on the phone and he's telling someone that the time is almost near. You know, it's almost time for his simulcast. Because I shouldn't have mentioned this. At the very start, Vince said he's going to talk on Raw and Nitro at the same time. It's a world first. That's amazing. And yeah, he's on the phone to some nameless fool saying it's almost time. Anyway, next match is Rey Mysterio and Kidman defeated Kid Romeo and Primetime Elite Skipper, who will be known as Primetime from now on. In a good match to win the Cruiserweight Tag Titles. These two pairs put on a 4-star match at Greed. I'm sure you remember my review. If you didn't, it was down there. This is a response to it, or a video, or Greed's a video response to this one. I don't know. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Gosh, I really need to go get some sleep. I'm far too excited. I'm far too. You know. Head scissors by Kidman to start. He locks on an odd full Nelson. It's weird. He's got his full Nelson locked on. It's hard to describe. He's got his weird-looking full Nelson on. Anyway, Rey Mysterio drop kicks right to the stomach of Primetime, belly to belly by Primetime, and a nice double-team splash by Romeo. Kidman is your Cruiserweight in peril. He manages cross-body, but then Skipper matrixes out of it and hits a spin kick. Romeo in, he goes for a cross-body, but eats a drop kick. Hot tag to Rey, he gets 2 off a nice tornado DDT. Primetime ties alley-oop Rey onto Romeo, but Rey Rana's Romeo to the outside. Bronco Buster, underhook face buster by Kidman, for Kidman by Romeo. Primetime hits Rey with an electric chair into a bridge, which is really nice. Unprettier gets the win out of nowhere at 4 minutes and 28 seconds for Kidman and Rey. Good match, but not a patch. Obviously, not a patch on their green match. It's a 2-star match. I mean, the thing about this one is it feels like it's just starting to get going, and then they end it. And you're just like, okay, falls a bit flat. Sting cuts a promo in the back, which is good, and then we see Vince walking, and we do. And then, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. The very last ever WCW match is Sting defeating Ric Flair in a crap match, to be fair. Tony Scott mentioned how Sting never joined the WWF. They talk about respect and loyalty and stuff like that. Then they mention how Sting never joined the WWF. They talk about all the matches that these two have had, including there's a superb line from Hudson. I really like this one. They talk about the first ever Clash of the Champions, which was in 1988, yeah. And they talk about Flair and Sting. They wrestled to a 45-minute draw that night. And Scott Hudson, quick as your light goes, and Mr. McMahon, they were doing it against WrestleMania 4. I love that line. It's fucking great. Anyway, shoulder block by Sting. They go to test the strength, but Flair pokes the eyes, then chops Sting in the corner. Hip toss and a drop kick by Sting. Shoulder block by Flair, who struts and loves it. It's like Sting almost tells him to strut, because he gets up with a big smile on his face and does the strut. Press slam by Sting and a 10 punch. Flair flop, obviously. Gosh, excuse me. Low blow and a chops by Flair. He goes to he drops the knee, goes to the top, obviously gets slammed off. Sting misses a drop kick, so Flair pops on the figure 4, complete with holding the ropes. Chops by Flair. Sting no sells all of them. Does a superplex, and locks on the Scorpion Deathlock for the win at 7 minutes and 7 seconds. And let me just check. Yep, that's the longest match of the night, believe it or not. Problem is that 4 minutes of those 7 were stolen, so, it's a 1-star match, and that's me being nice, unfortunately. They both embrace, and then Tony says the following words. It's been an emotional roller coaster for all of us fans. The uncertainty of our jobs, our future, of what we love, of what we breathe, of what we live. We don't just work for WCW, we live for WCW. And I know that fans, Flair and the fans will agree with. Cuts off. Why is it cut off? Because we've got to go to Raw for the simulcast, of course. The problem is, Vince McMahon may be a great businessman and maybe a certified billionaire, but he doesn't know how to do a cue. And basically what he's done is come out to the ring good 10 seconds too early. So what he does, in his infinite wisdom, and in trying to cover this, it says, I'm going to come out again, because you're not cheering loud enough. That's his cover-up. The fact of the matter is that Tony Schiavone and Scott Hudson don't get to say goodbye, and I think that's fucking pathetic, if you ask me. I really, really do not like that aspect of this show at all, because that sounds like what they're trying to say. Tony Schiavone's trying to say goodbye to the WCW fans, and the WF cut him straight off. Of course you never hear from Tony Schiavone ever again. And you're just like, well, that's really, really, really sad. Really makes me upset. So, Vince McMahon's in the ring. I'm watching this on my Xbox. I clicked to the thing. There's 17 minutes left of this Nitro, and you're like, oh no, what's coming now? So, this is going to be a long promo, isn't it? Now, Vince's promo is on YouTube. I'm sure of it, alright? I'm certain of it. So, I'm not going to tell you everything he says. There's basically 4 main points about this promo. The first one is that Vince obviously buries the fucking life out of WCW. That's to be expected, isn't it? Come on. Second one, Vince, and this is also to be expected, isn't it, puts himself over something rotten. Vince is quite obviously a genius of the highest order, and he's bought his competition. He keeps throwing in references to his match with Shane at WrestleMania, which of course at the end of the day was 6 days ago, to be expected. The other thing he does, he asks the fans for their input about various wrestlers, and this yields two quite interesting things. The first one is how he goes through people like he says Hogan gets a alright reaction. He says he says various people. He says Lex Luger, and the fans don't give a fuck, which makes me laugh a lot. He says Buff Bagwell, and every single woman in attendance screams. I really do believe this, that when Buff Bagwell debuted on Raw a couple of minutes later, it was because of those fans that he got his job. It wasn't because of all the talent he's got, obviously. But then he stops, What do the fans do? To a man, to a woman, to a child, they start chanting Goldberg, and that really makes me smile. Because if it had been me, if it had been Vince right there, I would have gone backstage and gone, we need Goldberg, I don't care what it costs, we need Goldberg in this fed. But they didn't. Anyway, so, Vince mentions that the contract's been signed by WCW, and then no chance hits, and Shane comes out, but he doesn't come out on Raw, no, he comes out on Nitro, and the deal is that Shane has bought WCW. And just like WCW kicked your ass in the past, says Shane, then that's what's going to happen to you on Sunday at WrestleMania. Last thing you see of WCW Nitro, which had been on the air for 6 years almost, was an advert for WrestleMania 17. And that is sad. That was a kick in the teeth. That was a low blow. That was everything. That was bad. That was bad. This show, it's got to be hard to book a show like this, because you want to show Nitro in its best light, don't you? But at the same time, you're not in control anymore. So, for all I know, they could have said, You know, whoever was booking it, because I've not got a clue who's booking this, I'm afraid. We want to do a Nitro tribute, and Vince could have gone, no. You know, that could realistically have happened. So, here's a fact. Watching this back just makes me think to myself, I wish I watched WCW back in the day. Because, let's think about this, right? This show got a 3.0 rating, alright? How much would Impact, how much would TNA and Impact kill people to get a 3.0 impact? I mean, rating. I tell you, I wish I'd watched more of it, and that's one reason why I'm enjoying watching the shows at the moment. As much as I don't like most of the WCW shows I watch these days, you know, I wish. It's interesting because of the historical aspect of it. You know, the fact is that I could talk about the invasion, and I will do it probably at great lengths later on in the year when we cover the invasion angle as part of the 10 Years Ago series. But I tell you something, this show just made me sad. Is what it did. Watching it made me sad and it made me angry because the WWF / the WWE needs competition. It really does. There needs to be a second brand out there that are completely different to the WWE. That's what is missing from wrestling these days. WCW, for all its shitness that it did, it was an alternative. If you wanted to watch wrestling, but you didn't want to watch the WWF, there was WCW waiting for you. Or there was ECW, but that's a different story for a different day. You know? 3 million wrestling fans vanished overnight when Nitro went off the air. They didn't stop watching Raw, they just stopped watching wrestling in full stop. You know? That's how much power WCW still had at the end. You know? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this. I've been Mark P. As you all know. Next episode, 10 years ago, will be a WrestleMania 17 review, and I'm really looking forward to watching that one, it has to be said. Thank you very much for watching, like I say, take it easy, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.